The wind blew sour over the port of Valencia as the royal ship creaked into harbor. The year was 1814, and after 6 bitter years of Napoleonic occupation, the Spanish monarchy was restored, not with fanfare, not with glory, but with dread. On the docks, the people waited. Some cheered out of duty, others out of confusion. A few stood silent, eyes fixed on the pale figure descending the gangplank. Ferdinand VII, el Deseado, the desired one, had returned from French captivity. But the man they had once hoped would save Spain now seemed carved from marble and shadow. Only 30, he walked like an old man, hunched, one hand behind his back as if hiding something. His upper lip twitched as he scanned the crowd with suspicion, searching not for welcome but offense. Behind him, a priest muttered prayers. The Inquisition had not yet been restored, but already the air smelled of incense and blood. Ferdinand stepped onto Spanish soil. The Marqués de Deseado knelt, kissed his hand, whispering, "Madrid awaits your command, Majesty." Ferdinand grunted, "Madrid awaits my vengeance." He mounted his carriage in silence. The wheels rolled through cracked cobblestones as the people watched their king disappear into the haze. They had no idea what they had welcomed back. In the months that followed, Spain bent and broke under his rule. Ferdinand disavowed the liberal constitution of 1812 within days. Deputies arrested. Journalists imprisoned. Ministers tortured. Yet it was not only politics that unsettled the court. Behind thick velvet curtains, rumors whispered like rats. Some said the king kept strange hours, wandering halls by candlelight in silk slippers, nightgown dragging like a ghost shroud. Others said the royal physician was dismissed for objecting to the king's nightly consumption of crushed emerald powder, an aphrodisiac, or poison. The queen, Maria Antonia of Naples, once lively and beloved, grew wan and reclusive. Servants murmured about bruises on her wrists, screams at night. One footman was hanged after claiming to see the king entering the queen's chambers, with chains in hand. When Maria Antonia died the following year, official reports cited tuberculosis. But no one believed it. Ferdinand wore black for exactly 1 day. By the 3rd day, he was inspecting portraits of young aristocratic women to choose a new bride. In 1816, the palace received 4 large crates marked, "For His Majesty's private collection." Delivered under heavy guard through locked iron doors, none but the king entered. A servant, Joaquin, peeked through a keyhole and glimpsed the contents before being dragged away. On his deathbed decades later, he whispered, "There were dolls. Not toys. Girls. Preserved. Naked. Eyes wide open." After that, no one dared question the locked doors. Gossip grew louder. Court ladies swore the king had a hidden room where no sunlight entered, lined with glass cabinets filled with unspeakable objects. A senior valet resigned after seeing something he could not name, only weep over. And always the paintings. Ferdinand commissioned artists, many foreign and discreet, to paint private portraits of women in various states of undress, some willing, most not. His favorites were not beauties but girls with deformities, scars, or looks of terror. He called them his angelic monstrosities. He kept them in a gallery he alone entered. By his 3rd marriage, the court was ill with dread. His bride, Maria Josepha Amalia of Saxony, was only 15. Quiet, devout, deeply pious. On their wedding night, she locked herself in prayer and sobbed until dawn. Ferdinand, furious, summoned priests to berate her into marital obedience. When she refused, he brought 2 more priests from the newly restored Inquisition. What happened behind those doors is lost to history. The queen bore him no children. Some blamed illness. Others whispered the king's obsession was with domination, not conception. As Ferdinand aged, his body grew grotesque. His face sagged, limbs shook, voice a wheeze. Yet his appetite for cruelty never waned. When an aide addressed him as "Your Grace," instead of "Your Majesty," the man was stripped, whipped, and forced to kiss the king's feet. Ferdinand laughed so hard he soiled himself. In 1832, gravely ill, The king demanded to be surrounded by symbols of his pleasures, paintings of tortured women, velvet cushions soaked in perfume, and an automaton, a mechanical woman that danced when he pulled a golden lever. He called her my eternal mistress. He died choking on his tongue, clutching a doll-sized corset. When they opened the secret wing, it took days to catalogue its contents: over 200 paintings, dozens of preserved specimens, books of perversions, and strange contraptions. Records were sealed. Some burned. Official history declared him deeply misunderstood. But those who served him never forgot. Maria Cristina, his fourth wife, stood at his bed as a widow. She threw the child's corset into the fire and said, "The regency begins now." Though her infant daughter Isabella II was queen by blood, Maria Cristina wielded power. But Ferdinand's legacy could not be swept away. Embalmers reported lesions shaped like bite marks on the king's thighs, a contorted smile frozen on his face. One old embalmer fainted, muttering, "May the devil take him back," before dying. Maria Cristina ordered the sealed wing purged, burned. But fire recoiled. Captain Don Esteban Almaraz, sent to oversee destruction, returned sick and mute. He took his own life, leaving a note. "The girl still breathes." No one understood. The room was empty. Yet, on stormy nights, palace guards heard a music box playing behind stone walls. A lullaby, soft and slow, accompanied by giggling. By 1834, while civil war brewed, something stranger festered. Men vanished from court, first a scribe, then a clerk, then an archivist. One returned mad, bloodied, repeating one word: forgiveness. He died hours later, missing fingernails and tongue. The Inquisition investigated. They found a hidden chamber below the king's apartments, a spiral staircase into blackness. Inquisitors descended, returning white-haired and screaming. One gouged his own eyes, another bit out his tongue. Only one survived, kept in a monastery, never speaking save once. He called them wives, all of them, wives. In 1835, an archivist found a book hidden behind a false wall. Bound in red leather stitched crudely, its pages were scraped skin, written in shifting scripts. It described dreams, tortures, rituals, and the Black Crown, a power drawn from pain and obedience. The archivist read too long. Tore his own face off before the Queen Regent. Lived 2 days. Whispers spread. Had Ferdinand sired a hidden child? A boy born of one of his wives? A midwife confessed delivering. A boy with a mark upon his chest, like a black handprint. The child was taken away, never seen again. A month later, a boy matching the description was found dead on monastery steps. Eyes open. Lips sewn shut. In his pocket, torn velvet embroidered with the royal crest. Isabella II suffered strange fits, whispering voices not her own. Her governess, Dona Alvera, wrote, "She speaks to him. In her sleep. Always him. The father. The king. He teaches her how to rule." Dona Alvera was found strangled, throat blackened as if by fire. Isabella married young. Her husband, Francis of Assisi, fled in terror more than once, telling a French envoy, "She wears him. When she's alone, she wears him like a cloak." He died of syphilis, or fear. Ferdinand's shadow endured, not as a ghost, but a poison. A sickness etched into Spain's stones, passed down crown and blood. By Isabella's final years, the palace had changed. No renovations recorded. Corridors led nowhere. Doors no longer aligned. Walls seemed to breathe. Paintings moved. In the throne room, a cold draft passed in summer, as if something waited beneath the floor. After Isabella's exile, a cleaning crew entered the king's old wing. They found nothing. No dolls, no automata, no paintings. But one room had deep scratches along stone walls. Words in archaic Castilian. "Still I reign." They sealed and bricked the door. No official record. Decades passed. Monarchs came and went. Wars, dictatorships, transitions. But the sickness lingered like mold behind Spain's history. Occasionally, someone digs too deep, a historian disappears, an archivist falls ill, a restoration project is cancelled. The old wing remains closed. No one talks about the Black Crown. But on stormy nights, guards say they hear a music box playing. A lullaby, soft and slow. Followed by a whisper, faint as breath. Madrid awaits my vengeance. And somewhere, behind stone, a hand presses lightly against the wall, waiting for the mortar to crack.